First of all, thank you, Monali, for taking time out for an interaction with us on Music Culture for your cover story, which is slated for June issue of ours. So, and that too, you told me that it's in the middle of your vacation. So, even more thankful to you. Um,
Pleasure. It's vacation in a way, but yeah.
when I look at your Spotify, and I see, Spotify gives you that snapshot of your or some of the most liked songs, or they have some algorithm that gives you 10 songs. And when I look at those 10
Mm.
songs, I think those 10 songs can be anybody's playlist. Those are such amazing songs. So
Thank
when
you,
you
sir.
have such a catalog of songs, and you have seen a journey of your over a period of time, how do you look back at your journey, and what do you think you have done, and how do you rate your work? Not rate might not be the best term, but how do you see yourself evolving as an artist?
I honestly don't think so much. I think I'm really lucky, of course. There are many amazing artists that I myself also know, but to be able to make your music or your like for the songs you're talking about, I think most of it are from the film songs that I've sung.
Yeah,
So to be able to even make your voice reach as a vocalist, and then hopefully I eventually can make my independent songs, my songs in a way like made by me, written by me, also reach to people as much as the film songs. I
yeah,
think it's also a matter of uh, luck, of course, a lot of hard work, but a tiny bit of luck as well. So I think I've been very fortunate that audience had appreciated my vocals and the way I expressed songs, and that's why probably you have them in the playlist, whether or not they try to promote the songs or not. So I think it's very fortunate that the ones who the songs were made for, they appreciated my rendition of these songs, and of course also the ones who created the melodies and wrote the songs. I'm glad that I was born in a family where they really encouraged me to pursue. I mean, they themselves all were artists and very creative people. So very fortunate also on that aspect. So they allowed me to kind of follow um, not just my dreams, but like live my life and learn from my own mistakes and evolve and grow as a person that I'm today. Uh, so I think the journey is a long journey to be able to kind of, say in few words over here. So abhi, I think it's abhi shurwati hui hai because people might think that abhi kaise shurwati hui, but I really feel it is so because this is when I was singing these songs, I was not so evolved as I am today. So I rendered those songs just seeing and observing other people. But now I think I'm in a position where I can express from a lot of very intense and with much more depth, with a lot of intensity, and with a lot of originality, if I can put it like that. I don't know कितने लोग समझेंगे वो. So थोड़ा वो मेरा खुद का journey है. So rating and all that, I don't know. But I'm just excited that I could sing. For many years, I could not sing for many reasons. But so, again, I'm extremely lucky and fortunate and happy that I, again, could come back and be what I am today. So, yeah,
fair enough. So
as an
look,
artist, I mean, yeah.
so look, your voice has traveled across countries, across Bollywood, across independent, across live performances. And you have seen a journey of yourself, like you said right now, and you are exploring your journey further in life. But when you see, uh, when you look back from where you started to where we are right now, which is a very different age altogether, how do you think that success of an artist today has changed in terms of perception or in terms of gratification compared to when you started?
Oh, there's been a lot of change, and I'm happy that this change really happened. I think I was one of the reasons also I could not really completely dive into just the film music aspect of it is because of certain kind of ecosystem that existed, and it kind of curbed our freedom in a way to completely dive into all our creative aspects. We were
Yeah,
very limited to just being vocalists, and I always kind of I felt that गाना अच्छा बन जाने के बाद of course there was happiness, but it's like that process was not so exciting all the time, every time, you know.
Yeah.
So just because it just only the vocalist aspect of us could be, but then making the songs, that aspect was not quite there.
Yeah.
And now, and then there were other things also. Like I always felt this for my, I love concerts, and I always felt that in my country, that concert thing of having a Michael Jackson, you know, having a, I'm just taking examples like the rock stars and the pop stars and iconic stars of that level who can pull hundreds of thousands of people in a
Yeah.
stadium and, you know, perform, you know, just change people's lives in a way and influence it in such, not just lives, economy for that matter even. So I think that now is possible because the artist, it's no longer what just you're singing, it's also like the overall what you're expressing, songs from your own life, or you know, the whole independent scene. And I really really hope and pray that it kind of grows bigger and more. Say for example, female artists, this whole submissive way of singing was really relevant for a very long time. And I think it kind of also, even if the, say the girl's personality was not that, but they really demanded, I know as a matter of fact because I was, for many romantic songs, the girls had to like sing in the thinnest voice possible. And I, even if it is probably not what the rendition would have been appropriate for the song, you know. So there were a lot of cultural changes also, and that's why we have so many different textures of voices now,
Right.
textures of voices, you know,
Right.
which is so makes our entire musical, what do you call it, like the whole, all our playlists and all the songs across it, it's so diverse and varied and different and more options for people. So I think for artists it has changed for the betterment. I think I just hope and pray that they don't kind of abuse this change and allow actually really talented people to come across and not steady random. I should not be saying it like that, but really, like, I hope they don't celebrate mediocrity more, but they allow real talents to kind of express themselves. I think that's gonna also take our entire music industry, the global map very nicely. It's still really long pending that that happens.
Okay. Two things I'll pick on from this answer of yours. First is you talked about diversity and the kind of range that you can see now with the artists coming up, with the vocal ranges that are coming up, with the independence that is coming up. You yourself have been a musician, a singer, as well as an actor in many aspects. How have these two personality sides of yours, or these two artistries of yours, complemented each other in making those diversities come across to your own artistry?
Of course, it has. I think singing a song um, requires you to be an actor. Acting is not through just your facial expressions or just your body's expressions or movements. You know, it is also from your vocal expression or the lack of it. And all these like dance, singing, I always have said this, like, and I believe it, and I'm so lucky to be able to kind of express in all the three ways. Um, they complement each other:
Yeah.
dance, music, and acting. And so, yes, to answer your question shortly and quickly, of course, it has supported each other, each of these art forms. And that's why, I mean, I'll derail from the question. That's why I'm really excited for my independent journey because that allows me, without any interference, to kind of combine all three and put it out, whether through just like whether vocally expressing it or say writing it or creating the melody or enacting in the music video or conceptualizing it. And so it's every form of creative expression that I can do uninhibitedly, if there's a word like that. Yeah.
If not, then it is now. So, okay. Uh, when you talk about your independent side of the music, I think you have recently released an EP by the name Butterfly, if I'm not wrong, and that's done reasonably well.
Butterflies. Yeah.
Butterflies.
Yeah.
I think it's a three-song
Yeah.
EP, if I'm not wrong, and
Yeah.
you have released the last song was released Pia, which was
Um,
very recently in June itself. You have released it.
yeah. Yeah.
What went on in creating this EP, and why did you end up creating this EP?
Um. Oh, that's like a quite an intense story. I was missing love for a very long time in my life. And the reason why I named it Butterflies is because um, I think I have a very subconscious mind. I've only been remembering the way I had felt when I had a crush or I fell for someone, and that whole feeling is very difficult to kind of express. But only thing that comes is like butterflies in my stomach, like something guru like that. So these love songs had come, and like the three songs that are there. One is Naimal Nave, which is quite it's quite of an eccentric thought behind it. When Kunal was, because I'm not so good with Hindi, um, I don't have confidence in writing in Hindi. So I had told him the thought, and he really beautifully expressed it. But he chose to write it in Punjabi, which I've never sung in. So the thought was like, I know that I'm not going to get you because this happened to me. Like, I knew that I will not be able to be with the guy. And so I know that I'm not going to get you, but I can have my whole love story in my head and I can keep living that life even if it is not real. It's just completely a delusional world that I've created in my head. Let me be. You live your life. You do your thing. Let me do my thing. Let the world make fun of me and think that I'm eccentric and crazy. Everybody can do what they want. Let me just do this. Don't try to judge or do whatever. Like, you don't get bothered by it. You let me be for the guys. Basically,
Yeah.
that's the conversation between the girl and the guy. So yeah, that is Naimal Nave, which is like a kind of in a way a little dark, in a way a little bit from a woman's kind of psychotic that she has this in her head and she's living her love life in her head, non-existent love life. And then Pia is a very flirtatious and a cute song, which um, I remember like when in my like 20s, if we would go for clubbing or any party or socials or anything, liking a guy and having that butterfly and then having that chat eye to eye. That's what Pia I Wanna is like. Very, it's like naughty and a fun flirtatious song. Yeah. And the next one is Butterflies. It's also like hopeless love,
So I would
butterflies in your stomach.
So I would say this Nayi Milnave is not psychotic or something, but I think it's more empowering for me to for somebody to express love so freely and not be bothered about what others think. It's a very empowering expression rather than anything else. To be fair,
Yeah, it looks at it like that. Yeah.
coming on to this. When you talk about independent music, independent music these days, and for the good or for the bad, or for whatever reason, most of the music is now working on. There is the old school of CDs and cassettes is gone. Distribution is now
Mm.
digital, and with digital comes the problem or the benefit of algorithm, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
So, is algorithm good for music or it's not so good for music?
If I may say, no, definitely not good for music. I mean, because the algorithm definitely then influences people in a certain way because the algorithm and the way it functions that chooses what they can see. And then you have to again earlier probably, and they're not gonna like me for saying this, earlier probably like say not suggest like like a aware non-musical producer or like a financer, artists and makers will have to like submit them so that go according to their whims and fancies to be able to make get a song released or a movie released, right? But now it's the algorithm. Now you have to surrender whatever the hell it wants. We have to do it like that, even if that is not the part that the song or any release deserves or what needs. Like for example, a song to make it reach out to people, now we all have to kind of um, make sure that there are reels enough made so that it kind of gets converted from Instagram to your Spotify or any other streaming platform to this basically the streams to increase the streams. Uh, the most important way is just through your meta, and so that's like that. I think is of course not a very healthy thing, but then again, that's what the whole system has made it to be now.
How will the system break? Do you have any idea? Vague idea?
You're asking me? I really do not know. Take the phones away. Bring the CDs back.
I think that's the
I
best.
really don't
That's the best
know.
answer.
I don't think I have that much of knowledge. I wish I had, but I don't have it. It's of course it needs a massive change. I think it's everybody's responsibility. Um, Audience has to get more what do you call it, responsible. So does these entities, of course. All the biggest of the companies, those entities.
Yeah.
So it's not just one person or one entity's job. It's everybody's responsibility.
Okay, coming back to one of your answers that you gave, and I said I picked up two things from there. So the second thing that I picked up was, okay, first I'll explain what I think and what I feel. I feel there are two kinds of artists. One are artists, then the others are digital artists. So there are artists who can actually give a live performance. Then there are digital artists who may not be able to give live performance, but they have their own strengths.
Mm,
When we talk about independent scene growing and we talk about live performances growing, what do you
mm.
think needs to be done to support the artists to get bigger, grow, and to be supported, and to create the avenues that you think that we just discussed, that have artists at the level where they can fill up stadiums? So, what do you think should be done in India to bring more artists to that level? Where can we get better?
Oh, there are many aspects that we can get better. I mean, I myself am facing those things, and big most one of the most important things is the finances. Say like for us, it's the labels, right? It's a massive, and again, okay. So the labels, the artists, and the audience. I think it's all three's responsibility to be able to, because it's not just the artist's benefit, it's not just the label's benefit, nor is it just the audience's benefit. Audience, if they also need to believe that they deserve better performances, so they need to work towards it. Also, be responsible audience, and the way they are consuming it, what they are consuming, what they are supporting. Because it's again at the end of the day their support that's the most
Yeah,
important thing. One. Second, because valuing, I'll tell you, like in the West, I have to take the example because the concert, say concert in the independent scene, has been really always relevant in the other hemisphere of the world, right? So in India, it has been really lacking for a very very long time. Film music had been the mainstream music, and not our independent scene where it should be. Independent music should be the mainstream music for our country. But the shift is definitely happening now, and I hope it speeds up. Coming back to the question, the labels, responsibility of labels to be able to support the right kind of artists. Um, have officials and people who um, don't just succumb to the one trend that has happened and then ignore the actual artists and put in their money and time and effort, and artists who cannot, because it is true, like uh, j- you have to support the right kind of artists, and then they have to open up their mind and kind of adjust to the change that's happening. Because say artists, why on earth are they going to go for um why will they give up their rights of the music completely? This was such a weird arrangement in India, because of which even international collaborations were very difficult, because they do not even understand this concept that the makers, the creators of songs will just completely give away the rights forever for perpetuity. It never exists anywhere else. It has
yeah,
been, it's a very exploitative, extortative way that the especially our Indian labels had functioned for a very very long time. And I think now to kind of this balance has to come in, and I think what dheere dheere I think it's happening, because it's no longer film music, right? It's the artists who are creating. So, and they have all these mediums to put out their song by themselves. So um, yes, labels have the responsibility in being having not so rigid understanding of how, like the content equity ownership, and artists will also have to understand the economics of it, so that they also don't get carried away with the demands where the labels fail to recoup or benefit. And so they also have to be responsible towards the contractual understanding between a label so that they can work hand in hand, because both need each other in a way, and they shouldn't be going without each other. That is not a very, that's not a good thing for the music industry, no. And the I think and of course, last but definitely not the least, audience. Extremely important for audience to be responsible,
Yeah.
and the way they are consuming music, that is very important. I'm happy that they are now uh, enjoying the concert culture. I always used to wonder that people will go, in the weekends and spend a lot of money in, say, just clubs and stuff, but they have never partied or felt something together with thousands of and lakhs of people and thousands of people in a stadium. That's some insane experience. I was waiting and hoping that it comes to India, and I think it's now finally. So that's great.
Finally. Finally. And I think finally this is there is a change in culture which is happening. And when we
Yeah.
talk about culture, artists are a very important part of shaping and defining culture. And with more and more artists coming through the ranks and appearing on screen, showing their faces, being recognized by the artists, not by the actors who are lip syncing the songs, and the way
Mhm.
it happens in West, how much do you think
Yeah.
we are still there, and what do you think needs to be done better from artists themselves? Right, I'm not talking about the industry right now, I'm not talking about labels, I'm not talking about audiences, but from the artists themselves, what can be done more to become culturally more relevant and culturally more influential in India?
I think good content. That is all most important for an artist. The independent music, and then okay, so if I am a fan of, say, take any name, say a Beyonce, I'm taking all the cliche commercial names, say any of the iconic artists, or any artist that I'm a fan of, and I want to pay and I want to watch her. There's a connect that has to happen with me, if I'm the artist, with me and my audience, and for me as an audience, with the artist that I want to watch. If say Bruno Mars or anybody for that matter, I love their music. I am loving what they're saying. But whatever it is that artists are planning to, they need to really be authentic to themselves and original. And even if they're trying out different things, they shouldn't. Um, Most importantly, you have to definitely be a good musician and a smart musician at the same time, and being authentic with what you're making and putting out. And wahi hai. I think that is the most important thing for an artist. Rest everything kind of follows step by step. Even if it is not going to happen in like a day or two or 1 month, 2 month, 2 years, it's eventually going to happen in scale for sure.
Before signing off, one last question. What would Monali be doing in the rest of this year? And what would you want to do, let's say, aspirationally in the coming few years?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just keep making my music and putting them out however I can. Earn the money and invest in that. If I have to co-work with people, I hope I get like-minded people who can help me support and make the songs reach out. And then eventually, I hope I fill up the stadiums and I can entertain people with everything that I have. Because I'm born to do this. I have not been able to do it for some time, which has been, of course, but I'm so glad to be alive and back. And yeah, that's all. That's my life, and that's what I look forward to till the time I can move my hands and legs and I can have a voice to sing. That's all. So next year also, when you're going to ask me this question, or after 5, 10 years, I think the same thing I'm going to say. Is that that's what drives me. That's how I live, literally. And it's वैसे बोलते ना कि अच्छा सुनाई दे उसके लिए नहीं. It's literally after a lot of things in life. I really this nothing gives me more happiness than this, and I exist for this. I was born for this. So that's what I'm going to do. Make music, put it out. Now that finally, thank God, this whole change in the music industry is happening while I'm alive. So I'm being able to. So I'm going to definitely milk it as much as I can. I'm going to keep putting songs out of mine. Dance,
All right.
sing, perform, create, design, our events. And yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right. On that amazing and super energetic note, I think I would like to thank you, Monali, for giving us time,
Thank you.
especially, and again, thank you for taking time out on your holidays to have an interaction with us. I would love to ask the same question every year and keep charting your graph every year. You know what I mean? So, thank you so much.
Pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
You too, you too. Thank you.
Bye.